Today's one I'm reacting to Rassie press conference after the game against the Pumas and what he had to say.
Rassie,
By the way, I just have to say, you just got to love Rassie. Innovator. The first rugby coach to be drinking beer while doing press conferences. You got to love that. Of course, he's also sponsored by Castle Lager, so super clever. You know, that's just a double win. You know, you sponsored and you can have beer while you're doing press conferences.
that's one of the more bewildering games of rugby you've ever been involved in terms of what happened.
Oh, I think it's just a hell of a willing Argentinian team, and you know this time of the rugby championship, injuries plays a big role, and squad depth plays a big role. And you know they went to the 6-2 and they got a couple of injuries. We also got 3 or 4 injuries, and you know there's a few things that we did stupidly, just giving them tries. You know, a yellow card and Cheslin's drop goal from within the dead ball area.
You can see Rassie can't get over the one of Cheslin Colby's drop goal from the dead goal area. that one you can see he's actually battling to even get it out, but he needs to mention it because it is it was soft tries for sure, but I mean overall it was pretty epic battle, and I understand why so many guys got injured. Yeah, it was quite rough. I mean, guys even Argentines carried off on stretchers. It was a brutal game.
So yeah, we are happy because we know this is a very good Argentinian team, and we had to sort out a lot of things at halftime because the game, even I thought at minute 40, the game wasn't dead and buried, but some individual players, the team obviously, I thought both teams were up for it and wanted to play really well. But then I thought also some individual brilliance made massive difference in this game.
Individual brilliance, of course. First guy that stands out is, so that's what they call him, SFM, Sasha Feinberg Mngomezulu. He had a brilliant game. And then, of course, also Mane Libbok was also great. And then, I mean, let's not look past Cheslin Colby. He had brilliant try. He scored out of the air. They got caught out of the air. Kane Moody had a great game again. So and not to even look past the forwards. Everyone put in a shift in those forwards. Kwacha, you know, Visa was phenomenal at carrying the ball. Peter Steftotoy was everywhere. Norkia, how good was he? You know, and then of course your props, great like always. Wilco, again a machine up front. Much too strong. The Springbok scrums again showing they're much too strong for, you know, the rest of the world's scrums. It's just a fact. They're at a different level at the moment to the rest of the world's scrums. And you could see even the calls that was made against the Springboks to the Pumas towards the end of the game. I don't know, man. Some of those calls, I can't see how it went the Pumas' way. But yeah, let's keep going.
No, I think Coach said it. We knew how much, like I said in the week, it's a semi-final, and we know how good Argentina is, and we knew how much it would be tough in the game. But the mistakes that we made, you know, we felt, you know, we gave so many opportunities, penalties, and also tries to them. But the positive things were how we responded after that. Even when Pearson dropped the ball and they scored, Sasha fighting for the kickoff and the mentality of the boys, you know, was really strong. I didn't have to say much, and you know.
And that's true what he's saying there. You can feel, I don't know what's happened to the Springboks, but in the last 2 games there's been a fire in these guys. That last game, I didn't even feel it with the first game as much at Eden Park against the All Blacks. That last game at Wellington and this game in KwaZulu on the Shark Tank, man, they were fire. It just seems like the team's got a different, you know, will to want to play. And, you know, you feel that Sasha Feinberg, Mngomezulu and Willemse is bringing that fire there. You can see the way the guys are just, you know, congratulating each other. And, like, every time that they score a try, you can just see how they psych each other up. Willemse, Moody and Sasha Feinberg and Mngomezulu especially, the young guys are really, like, you know, firing each other up. And it's great to see because you need that fire every time you play. And it's great idea from Kulisi to say, hey, we're playing a semi-final and then next week's the final, you know, and it's a good way to approach it.
I think PT take the lead there, Jasper, all the guys that have have played a lot. That was really good. It wasn't like me saying something. Everybody put input through that. Even the guys that are not playing, the coaching staff had simple messages for that for us, and then we just went out there and we tried and be as disciplined as we could, especially because we lost Malcolm in the start of the first half. So yeah, that was a positive for the team. All the mistakes we made, we're able to fight back, but obviously we want to lessen those mistakes next week.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is the thing. There's so many leaders there. You look at a Peter Steph Toy, you look at Jasper Wiese, you look at Kulisi. You could just keep going. There's enough names there. There's a lot of young guys that's coming in, but there's enough, especially in the forwards, enough experience to always have leaders in the team, and that's because Rassie just has got this churning wheel that just keeps bringing players in. So I mean, you can even look at a Damian Willemsen now as an experienced player there, Mani Libbok as an experienced player.
Yeah, I think nobody can disagree. That he was brilliant on a day, and that's what we always try to say. If you just put somebody in there consistently and expect him just to be world class, it doesn't just happen over time. So you grow a little bit against New Zealand, you go a little bit against Australia, and then you grow against Wales or whatever. And I think he's only on 11 caps or something like that now. So, but I thought Gooks helped him a hell of a lot. And Damian Willemsen played well, and Mani came on. So there was a lot of guys that played well. I think obviously none of us can disagree that Sasha was man of the match, and he did incredible things on the field. But if you think the lead up to where he was today, there was many mishaps and bad kicking. I'm not talking in this game, I mean in other games that he played. And that's just, I think sometimes we must give guys chance to build their reputation, to build their skill set at test match level. And he's definitely doing that. And there's a hell of a lot of people helping him. But Mani, Damien, Tony, everybody. So Andre, nobody can argue that was really good.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I mean, we also have to say that when you look at it, what Rassie's talking about there is like he was pretty good last year as well, but he kicked a lot of balls right into the opposition off. He kicks quite deep, but he would not kick out always and kick it quite deep. But kick it right down the throats of the opposition, and they'll just run right back at us. That is usually an issue that Sasha Feinberg and Ngomazulu had. His kicking wasn't always too strategical, where that's definitely improved. But man, I have to tell you, even the last year, all the games that he played, he's been pretty good. He's definitely been improving game to game. But I do feel, man, he could have even started playing more earlier. And I think it took Rassie up to the last two games to now start realizing that, before he thinks of playing the selection squad, think of picking a Delilindi or a Kriel, they're going to now have to think a lot harder if they'll rather play a Moody or an Estreisen or play a, Sasha Feinberg Ngomazulu or Mani Libbok above a Pollard, because things are just changing quickly now. You can see, and I think these players have been sitting on the sideline for too long now. They get game time, but maybe one game in every 3 to 4 games, and that's frustrating for a lot of players, sitting on the sideline for 2-3 games, and you've got the talent to be the best in the world. So acknowledge definitely what Rassie says. It took time, but I think it could have been even quicker. But it's clearly now the time is right for him to start playing this guy.
Well, it's very simple what he did wrong. He didn't try and kick a short kick-off. He just wanted to kick the ball to the guys kicking off. But it's a legal try. He dropped goal. And they were 5 meters away and they caught it. So a bit of a brain fart.
At least he scored a try.
A bit of a brain fart. You gotta love it, Rassie. He just says it as it is. A bit of a brain fart. I think Ches is really probably a lot of jokes flying around in the changing room with Cheslin at the moment because of that mistake, and I guess he will never do it again. He's a world-class player, so but it just shows you rugby. Rugby can humble you in just a second again. It doesn't matter how good you are. But hey, it's the Springboks won. Imagine that was a game that the Springboks lost. That would have been a lot more said around it. And man, it's the last guy I want to have things go wrong for is Ches and Colby. He's such a such a dedicated player.
I think I've done stupid things like that when I was playing, and all of us have. But you have to remember all the brilliant things that he also does. So I think we can forgive him for that 7 points.
We will definitely forgive him for that 7 points. Definitely Cheslin. I can forgive him any day. Rugby World Cups, tries against Australia, tries against the All Blacks, tries against everywhere in the Northern Tour. That's all right. We forgive you, Cheslin.
I think the first thing that we realized is that because Australia didn't win, Argentina would think they were in with a chance. Or not think they were in with a chance. And if they scored 5 points in this game, they were really in the mix. If Australia won, they would have been out of it. So I think the first thing we took out of that is, hey, let's just grind this game out and win. And I think if you saw the first half, we took the penalties, they took the penalties, and you never know when it's going to open up. So we really didn't try to open it up right from the beginning because we just wanted to have a win. We could always try next week to get 5 points or whatever the log might say. But the most important thing that was Argentina. I thought God must have had belief from that result because if they beat us here, even with 5 points, they would have been on 13. And then next week, if Australia beat New Zealand and they beat us again, they would have been in the mix. So it was more for us to know how desperate Argentina would have been on the day. I think that was probably helping and motivating us even more.
And that's good, Rassie showing their respect. And that's maybe why the scoreline was so close in that first half, because the Springboks haven't really started testing Argentina. I felt that the Argentinians would test the Springboks more, but they couldn't do much of their attack. They looked pretty dangerous against the All Blacks, and they looked pretty dangerous against the Wallabies. But they had moments here and there, but not a lot. But from the Springboks side, you could see when they started intentionally wanting to open up the game, they definitely were just too good for the Argentines. The Argentines kept themselves in the game. The Pumas kept themselves in the game, tried to fight back, but just too much firing power from the Springboks.
In the way you scored tries and all those kind of, I think the way you control the game, control and balance, and I think the guys around him, as coach said, they helped him a lot in making decisions. But I think when we click as a team, every single player, within our system is able to show who they are, and that's what the coaches always speak to us about. They pick us for a certain reason. We all have a point of difference, and one of his is running with the ball. But he should just run as well, and other players have to be in positions for him to get in the place that he got to. And I thought he kept his head cool, and he put us in the right places. And yeah, he was really amazing today. He took charge, he took leadership as we wanted him to. And I thought that was really what stood out for me today. All the guys, we believe in our team and shared leadership. There's not one leader who runs everything. Everybody plays a role. And I saw so many different people who came out of the shells today when the chips were down or when we made a mistake. It wasn't just one voice changing something. And also guys who are experienced were able to listen to guys who have less than a double number of caps. And that's what makes our team special. And that's what he's tried to make sure in this group. From the first day he made me captain, and make sure everybody was in charge, so I didn't have to take all the burden and all the pressure. And you're seeing younger guys with one cap who are able to take charge and tell us, we keep quiet and we listen to them. So that was powerful today, and I thought, yeah, Sasha was really amazing, and hopefully we can continue next week.
That's a good answer there, and it's selfless, and that's basically the loss that we have there to react to, guys. It's selfless the way that Sia is the captain. I mean, by now he's pretty experienced, but he still says everyone's a captain on the field. We know it's a system that Rassie's put into place. And let me just tell you, Sasha Feinberg-Mngomezulu is such a leader. This such a young guy, 23 years old. The way he commands the field like a commander on the field, the way he talks to everyone and he just instructs them what to do. You see that guy is totally in charge of that back line. He calls the shots, and for such a young guy to have that type of confidence and play like that, man, that guy's got a big future ahead of him. And I know it's maybe a lot of raving over this guy at the moment, and we've got to be careful because maybe it's a lot of pressure and he's going to make mistakes again for sure. But he's got all the potential in the world to be really good. Young Dan Carter for sure is the comparison that I've heard here in New Zealand some people make. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button below. I thank you guys all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.